Hey out, your boy Mr. XP here, back with another vid here on the channel. We're back doing the Xbox Showcase event recap vid. This vid, I want to go ahead and explain the key games that I'm excited for and what I'm expecting nonetheless to play on the channel in the near future. Also for what I have actually on the side that I do want to work on, which is also the bonus vids that I also have coming soon. Before I get into it, I'm going to recap some of the games from the Xbox Showcase event. I already covered them in my last vid, but for this vid here, I want to cover the games that I was not expecting, and I was not, expecting the release date, or I was shocked to see. So I'm going to go ahead and just say, and also I'm going to kind of add my opinion to certain games, especially like one of the games is like Doom the Dark Ages. I'm gonna give you insight about that and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and cover the games again and just do a little recap within the recap or whatnot of that. And also sidebar, I say sidebar to myself to continue a thought I had. I did not get to rewatch the Ubisoft Forward live stream because I was in the middle of doing the showcase recap video covering all 4 live streams and the Apple WWDC live stream. So I was just covering a lot. So the first thing I would say is that for that is, I don't know if I'll probably do a separate vid for that for Ubisoft, but I'm not going to get into that. But the Xbox Showcase event, the games that I'm somewhat going to talk about first are Call of Duty Black Ops 6. I kind of like it because of the new movement called the Omni movement that they're working on. That's one of the things that I do want to get to see and see how that works in game and how it all folds out different from Apex and like stuff like that. Playing a movement game, because I want to play a different shooting game, because Apex to me is not as fun as it used to be. I still have fun, but it's just too much cheaters and hackers and modders in Apex right now, so I just don't know what else to do about that besides just playing Battlefield 2042. But I have so much fun to some degree to like play Battlefield. So the first thing I would say for that is that for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, I'm not sure if I get into it or not. Like I said, I haven't played the last Call of Duty game I played was years ago. It was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and that was the only one I liked. But for Doom the Dark Ages, it seemed interesting because we get to play in the medieval time, and I kind of like the setting factor of it. But besides that, I'm just more into like basically all the new changes and things that they kind of did for that game. And I guess that Doom is kind of now moving towards a different aspect that I kind of like. So I'm not sure about getting into it, like I said, but that's one game that I do have on the table that I'm considering picking up. The next game is, let's see, but I have the list right here in front of me. Besides the games you see here, the 2 that are being showcased here in the vid, the next game is Flintlock. Flintlock right here, it's my favorite game. The reason why I've been waiting for this game for 2 years was because that Flintlock, basically, it gives you a whole new meaning, and the factor of how the game looks, it feels so smooth. By how you just saw earlier in the vid here, that you saw how smooth you could play. It's like a gun and shooting type slasher kind of version of Forspoken that's on the PS5. That's another game that I have for the PS5 that I'm really excited for, that's coming soon to the Xbox Series X next year in 2025, because the contract for Square Enix is being lifted, the embargo contracts for them to port it over to the Xbox Series X. It's on Xbox Game Pass right now for PC, but the game is coming to the Xbox Series X, the system, so I can play the game. I'm really excited to showcase that on the channel in the near future. But for Flintlock, like I said, it's like basically you're looking at the shooter slasher type version of Forspoken, and people didn't like Forspoken, and it was a letdown to some people. But to me, Forspoken was a dope game, a dope secret little game that's by Lumen Productions, that now I heard the studio's closed down now. So I'm shocked to hear about that a couple months ago, around New Year's Eve, around Christmas. I never knew that they were going to shut down after just building one game. So that's just something for that. And for me to now play Flintlock coming soon, July 18th, I mean, I'm just really excited to showcase that. And I'm going to do a special special showcase event. I want to do my first little gameplay walkthrough part 1 on the channel as a little sneak peek for the future. So when I touch back base with the game again, I do want to do the full gameplay walkthrough on the channel and everything like that. The next game also that I kind of seem interested in is Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark, I don't know nothing about it, but for some reason you guys saw during the Xbox showcase event, it's like a parkour military type like version of Mirror's Edge 2 Catalyst, and you have like this first person shooter aspect to it, like you're doing like some secret Call of Duty stuff or whatever, like military stuff. So it's one game that seemed interesting. I would get into it, but like I said, I don't know much about Perfect Dark. But Perfect Dark is also another game that's somewhat on the table that I'm considering picking up. The next game also as well is Wuchang Fallen Feathers. You see it right here. This game, this clip right here you're seeing is from 2022 or 2021. This is when they were in the beta phase of working on the game and how it would look. And the game looks so cool. And I feel already Shiroko Shadow Twice feels. The way how it's maneuvering and how it's showing each part of the different areas of the environment seems so smooth. And I like that about Shiroko Shadow Twice. And in the near future on the channel, later at the end of this year, I have that considered on the list of being the next big game I want to showcase on the channel. And I can't wait to do the gameplay walkthrough of that. The first part of that is with the way how Shiroko Shadow Twice moves, and you have all the mini bosses and then the main bosses that you have in the game. There's no setting to easy, normal, or hard setting. You automatically play the game on hard. So with Wuchang Fallen Feathers, I feel that same atmosphere tension with that. And the gameplay mechanic, it seems similar to Shiroko Shadow Twice. Some people, I haven't even seen anybody reaction vid to the gameplay or cover the game, because they say that they copy Bloodborne for the PS4 or the PS5, and I guess they copied Dark Souls or whatever, but I'm not sure about that. But for me to see Wuchang Fallen Feathers like this, I'm mostly focused towards Shiroko Shadow Twice feels, because I can imagine playing the game, you know, in a boss fight aspect or fighting the little AI characters around the environment in the world. I just really want to see where it will go and also see how it feels to play in those little areas. For example, right here, you can clearly tell, just exploring, like imagining exploring a little village, just like in Shiroko Shadow Twice, in the flashback, when you go to the Harada estate in the beginning of the game, where you go to the temple and you go pray at the Buddha statue inside the temple. And in the temple, you're basically going ahead and actually falling into like a REM sleep kind of phase, and you waking up into the past during that time frame. And that's basically you going back a few years before the attack on the Harada estate. And it's really interesting, and I like it. It's nothing like you would see in any other game. So to see that kind of convert into something like that, I hope that they could add that to Wuchang Fallen Feathers, because that would then give it a whole nother layer that there is a flashback, something that happened to the girl character you're playing as here in the game. And it's really something I really can't wait for, and I hope that when the developers, I forgot the name of the studio, I did have it written down somewhere, but I could check it on my phone, but I'm not going to make this too long. They're a small Chinese company, developer studio. They only made this AR VR game, AR something 117 game. They made like this VR goggle game, and it's for the Oculus goggles, so you can play that game. So this is their first AAA like console game that they're working on, and I really want to see it work really bad, and I can't wait to play it next year when it comes out to Xbox Game Pass next year in 2025. It's going to be a lot of fun to play this game and showcase the first gameplay walkthrough part as a live stream on the channel. We're going to have lots of fun with it. And then I might probably render the vid in 1080p, or I'll probably render it in 720p. Depends when I get a better recorder at the time. So hopefully I should be able to record the game at a good time or a good frame rate. The next game I also like that I'm super excited for is Stalker 2. The reason why I didn't want to talk about Stalker 2, and I'm going to talk about Gears of War E-Day right after this, But the reason why I didn't want to talk about Stalker 2 in the showcase event or in NFS Unbound gameplay walkthrough when I was talking about watching the live stream was because I don't want to get in trouble with copyright because of legal stuff with the government, because of how Moscow and Ukraine, they were fighting at the time. And you had people, trying to leave or flee from the country, and there was a lot of legal issues. And Putin, I don't know what's going on with the government, the Russian government, but the studio that makes Stalker 2, the Heart of Chernobyl, they were having a lot of issues. The game got announced, like, I forget when, but it was before 2021 or 2020, and the game was supposed to come out in 2021 or 2020 during C19 at the end of that year, but they pushed the game back so many times. Actually, it was on Xbox Game Pass or Xbox Live Store since 2000 and actually I think 18 or 19. And I remember seeing it because I remember I was working at Dunkin' Donuts at my old 9-to-5 job at the time, and I saw it on Xbox Live Store for pre-order in the coming soon category on the store. And I'm like, why is this game not out yet? And it's been like almost now 5 or 6 years this game has not been talked about, and I don't know what's going on. So I'm just now noticing that it was because of the other issue that they were having with the game. They were working on little bug fixes and changes. That C19 became a problem that rendered the production time of finishing up the game in 2020 and push it back a year. Everybody had to stay home or work from home, you know what I mean? Or game developers couldn't work in a studio. They actually had to stay at home and work on their home setup. And then to make it worse, I think like 2 years later, you had like the Russian stuff that was happening with Moscow and Ukraine with the Russian government, you know what I mean? With in Moscow with Putin and stuff like that. And you had innocent people trying to leave and come to America or go to China or London or the UK and get their citizenship or whatever, or green cards for other countries, because they don't want to stay in Ukraine because they're scared for their lives. They're scared for their their youngins. They don't want them hurt or anything. They want their family members to be okay and not be caught in the middle of this Russian war that's happening in Ukraine against Moscow. You know what I mean? So that was just one of the things that was an issue. And I guess between that and shutting the studio down or having small changes or layoffs, I guess they had to push the game back to the point where they didn't know what to do. They might have to cancel the game. And I was shocked to see it announced at the Xbox Showcase event on Sunday. So that's one game that I'm kind of excited for. It's like another version of Metro Exodus, a Metro 2023 Metro Last Light. So it's like it's like Metro Exodus or Metro 4, basically how I'm looking at the game. And I'm excited to play Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl on the channel. That's also another cool game, apocalyptic, end of the world, radioactive unknown creature evolving kind of game. And it's really cool. You're not just fighting creatures you've seen in the trailer, you're fighting also scavengers or people that are like hiding in little areas around Moscow at the time. So that's one cool thing that I like to see, and I really can't wait to play that. The last game I want to talk about is Gears of War E-Day. I don't know if it's Gears of War 6 or it's Gears of War E-Day. It's a whole new standalone game, but it's supposed to be the game that's supposed to be the first intro game before Gears of War 1. And to see Marcus as a younger version of himself in his like early 30s or his mid 30s, it's really cool to see him like that. And to see Dominic back alive, because remember, Dominic sacrificed himself in Gears of War 3 because Marcus needed to strike a deal with some unknown guy. I forgot where. He lives up in this high building in an abandoned city or whatnot, and he needed Marcus to go get an oil tanker or a truck or a shipment of gas he needed, and they needed for the generators, and he forced Marcus's hand to go and get the trucks. And he basically can't believe it, when they went to go get the trucks, they got ambushed by the locusts, the aliens. And next thing you know, Marcus had found out that Dominic was going to sacrifice himself by driving one of the oil tanker trucks into the gas station and blow up the locusts so Marcus and everybody else could escape. And that was really heartfelt, and to see Marcus back with Dominic from Gears of War 3 in the flashback now game called E-Day, we're gonna see what happened and what led up to what happened in Gears of War 1 as like the, you know, the day that the locusts or the aliens came to Earth, or they came up from the core of the Earth. I can't remember if they came from the core of the Earth or they came from outer space, the locust aliens. But the thing is though, we're gonna see them in E-Day and see how they came to be on Earth, on the surface of the Earth. So that's just that. But you know, those are the games I just wanted to cover on my end from the Xbox Showcase event that happened on Sunday. And like I said, only the two biggest games out of all of them is Wuchang Fallen Feathers here and Flintlock Siege of Dawn. So those are the two biggest games I'm really excited for to play nonetheless. And the last game I didn't cover it in the showcase event because it wasn't part of it, but it got announced before, was TDU Solar Crown, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. That racing game, I never played the first two, but to see now they come back with a new remastered one called Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, I'm super excited to showcase that racing game also as well on the channel. So trust me, I have a lot of racing games on my list besides just the new games that came out, and you guys already seen I just finished NFS Unbound gameplay walkthrough part 1 through 32 on the channel right now. The playlist is on the channel. And yeah, so to see TDU be the way it is now and play this game, I really can't see how I cannot miss this. This right here is better than the Crew 3 Motorfest or something like that, because I mean, like, I want to play my own version of a different racing game right now. And FH5, going back to Mexico, and, you know, playing FM8. I already beat the gameplay walkthrough FM8 on the channel. It's going to be a lot of fun to play a whole nother racing game and also go back to the roots of what my gaming channel is. First of all, my gaming channel is not an RPG or like a first-person shooter channel. It's a racing channel. And I want to stick to my roots of what my channel means and what it stands for. And the only reason why I kind of stepped out of that element for a while was because of life and also personal issues, because I had a lot of things dealing with, you know, me, my mom, and my family. So for me to focus on myself again and focus on what I love doing and going back to cars, and nonetheless go back to probably designing cars in the near future, if I might have the time for that, that's something I want to do. And really, you know, that's something that's based on who I am as a person, because I grew up mostly playing racing games and alien games. Those are what I kind of grew up playing. So to now evolve a little bit into first-person shooter, you know, games like Apex and stuff like that, or Battlefield, it kind of took me out of my element of who I am. So to come back to what I believe in, racing games is the core of the channel, and I want to stick to that and stay to who I am. But yeah, so this is the showcase recap vid, and I thank y'all for watching. It's your boy Mr. XP. See you guys in the next one, and hopefully I will get to show you guys more of Wuchang Fallen Feathers and TDU and Flintlock in the near future. I'll see y'all later.